How does this work? Well, if you would have gotten an auto loan and your credit score was not the best, right? And now your credit score has improved, that doesn't mean you have to keep those terms. You can refinance, keep it at 4 years and go from 21% to 15%, 21% to 8%, 15% to 6%, whatever the rates are and what you qualify for. That's why people are doing this, to help themselves lower their monthly car payments and refinance and get better interest rates and better terms overall. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Calvin Russell here, CEO and founder of 850 Club Credit. Hope everyone's doing well today. Today, we're going to talk to you all about how to transfer your auto loan from one lender to another. Let's get right into it. So in this video, we're going to actually break down and explain the following, okay? Number one, what is an auto loan transfer? Okay. Number two, steps to actually transferring your auto loan to another lender. Number three, what is the approval and loan transfer process? All right. And what are banks looking for you to even accomplish this? Number four, the benefits of transferring an auto loan. Like, why would you even want to do this? We'll break that down. Don't worry. And number five, considerations before transferring your auto loan. Let's get started. All right. So number one, what is an auto loan transfer? An auto loan transfer involves refinancing your current auto loan with a new lender to obtain better terms or rates. Okay. The new lender pays off your existing loan. Okay. So we're going to call that card, let's say auto loan one. Okay. Auto loan one. And then you begin making payments to the new lender under the new loan agreement. Okay. That's going to be auto loan two. So let's say, for example, you have the car and you have that, let's say with Capital One. And you take that Capital One auto loan, and then let's say, for example, you have an account with your credit union, and then you say to your credit union that you want to go ahead and refinance that, which we'll get to in a second on how, like, what steps you need to do. And then what's going to happen is that credit union is then going to pay off the full balance of the old auto loan with Capital One. Now, that's in best case scenario, okay? And that's usually going to happen most of the time. But for some of you, you may be in a situation where you may have to come out of pocket because there's too much negative equity, which means that your vehicle is worth less than what you owe. For example, you may owe $10,000, but your vehicle's worth $8,000. Your credit union says, we'll give you $8,000, which means you got to cover the difference, which is $2,000. Is this making sense? Let me know if you got questions in the comment section below as well, too. OK, now this process can also help reduce your monthly payment as well as your interest rate and the overall total loan cost, the total loan cost as well. All right. Now let's break this down into further pieces. Now, what are the steps to actually transfer your auto loan to another lender? So number one, you want to evaluate your current loan. Like, first off, does this even make sense to do? It usually, if your interest rate is like under 8%, under 6% on an auto loan, that's actually a pretty good interest rate. So you're probably going to have a more difficult time finding better terms. But I would say probably on the high end, 7% or higher. That's when you probably should consider looking for another lender. OK, if your credit score is under 650 and you're looking to get an auto loan, then you can most definitely do so. This company will help you get a bad credit auto loan anywhere nationwide. Scan this QR code or click the link in the description below. Now back to the video. Now review your loan balance, then look at your interest rate, look at your remaining term to determine if refinancing is beneficial. Or do the numbers make sense? Sometimes the numbers just don't make sense. Number two is going to be shopping for lenders. Now, you could do this without having your credit ran. Again, you don't need banks to run your credit before just having a basic conversation. You can even just ask them, hey, my car is a 2023 and we know which is now 2 years old. And so now you'll say to them, OK, what type of interest rates are you all giving for cars that's in that range? They're going to ask you about the mileage as well, too. OK, so research and compare lenders to find the best refinancing terms based on your credit score and financial situation. OK, number three, then you want to go ahead and apply for the new loan, which means that you're going to have to submit an application with the chosen lender, providing necessary documentation such as income verification and vehicle details. Now, let's pause real quick. I've seen people do this part and then get denied. Why is that? A lot of times it's not you, like the person. Sometimes it's not your credit. It's not your income. It's not you. It's the car. The car has to qualify. If you're watching this video, put that in the comments. The car has to qualify. OK, what does that mean? The car cannot have a certain age. Usually banks cut off at about 7 to 8 years to refinance an auto loan. That doesn't mean that you don't have an alternative. You can use a personal loan as well too, but only if you can't do a refinance that way. Sometimes it has too much negative equity because it may have too much mileage on it. It may have too much damage on it, right? Like the example I gave moments ago, where the car is worth $8,000, but you owe $10,000, right? And the numbers are way far off, where the bank says, hey, listen, we see that you owe $10,000. We're only willing to give you $5,000, right? And you're like, well, man, in order for me to do this, I have to come up with the other $5,000. Yeah. Okay. So again, the numbers have to make sense. All right. But either way, once you get through that process and then you get approved. But again, just understand sometimes it doesn't happen because it's not just you. It's going to be the car itself. But if you are approved, make sure that you go ahead and look at the numbers before you finalize everything. And then also, too, just because you get one approval doesn't mean you have to take that approval. OK, you can look at other banks that also offer this as well, too. OK, so if you have an answer from one bank, try to see if another bank is going to give you an answer as well, too. And again, you don't have to let them do a hard pull. I would say start with soft pull options first. Real quick, be sure to download our free ebook today. All you got to do is scan this QR code right here or click the link in the description below. Now back to the video. Next is going to be the approval and loan transfer process. It's actually easier than you think. Number one, the loan approval. The new lender will assess your application and may offer loan terms based on your credit worthiness and the vehicle value. So you got that. You also have to have the credit score in place. Obviously, you can't do this with a credit score under 620 in most cases. So 630, 640, the higher the score, the better. OK, now, have I seen people get approved for refinance at 600 or 610? Absolutely. OK, but again, if it's under 620, they may look to see if you have a nice amount of savings or how long you've been on your job. So there are other factors that many lenders look at as well, too. But especially if it's a soft pull, it costs you nothing to apply. OK, then next is going to be the payoff and transfer. Now, upon approval, the new lender will pay off your existing loan directly to the other lender, which means let's keep that same example. Let's say, for example, you have the car loan that is $10,000. Your car is worth $10,000 and the bank is going to give you $10,000. They don't give it to you. They pay the other lender off. Why do they do that? Well, one, you don't have the title to the car. OK, so you're not the owner of the car. You're pretty much just paying on the car and then you'll get the title once it's paid off. OK, so now in this case, you still wouldn't get the title because now someone else has a title to that vehicle. They just paid off to other people. OK, number two, they don't give that money to people because sometimes people don't know. That would be like extremely risky. Like who would give someone the check for the car in hopes that they give it to the bank? Oh, no, that's not going to happen. OK, next is going to be the new loan agreement. You begin making payments under the new loan terms. OK, typically at a lower interest rate or adjusted payment terms or both. What does that mean? Let's break that down. People think that refinancing their auto loan is essentially just stretching out the term. And that's not the case. So, for example, if you had your auto loan for 2 years, and you signed originally a 6-year loan agreement. Now you have 4 years left on your auto loan. People think that refinancing is taking that loan from 4 years back to 6 years or up to 5 years. That is an option, but you don't have to go that option. You could simply stay at 4 years and just simply get a better interest rate. How does this work? Well, if you would have gotten an auto loan and your credit score was not the best, right? And now your credit score has improved, that doesn't mean you have to keep those terms. You can refinance, keep it at 4 years and go from 21% to 15%, 21% to 8%, 15% to 6%, whatever the rates are and what you qualify for. That's why people are doing this, to help themselves lower their monthly car payments and refinance and get better interest rates and better terms overall. Now, the benefits of transferring an auto loan, right? Number one is going to be obviously a better interest rate. Refinancing can reduce the interest rate, which is going to save you money over the life of the loan. Now, let's pause real quick on this. This does not mean that you can't still pay the bank more. The problem is people don't understand that anytime you have a monthly payment, we know this with credit cards, but we don't think about this with mortgages. We don't think about this all the time with auto loans. Those are minimum monthly payments as well. If your monthly payment is $400, that's your minimum monthly payment. But you can pay $450, you could pay $500, and that additional amount goes towards the principal. Now you have to call most banks and tell them that you want the additional amount to go towards the principal, because that's going to reduce the amount of principal that you owe, which is going to reduce the amount of interest that you owe as well. If you don't call them and you just pay extra, what's going to end up happening is they're actually going to apply that to the next month's payment, and which is still fine too. It's not the end of the world, but you would rather additional money go towards that principal. Same thing with the mortgage. Again, that monthly payment is just a minimum monthly payment. Always pay more, always pay extra if you can. Okay. Next is going to be reduced monthly payments. Now, lower payments can obviously improve your cash flow and make budgeting easier. Okay. So instead of the bank asking for $500, now your monthly payment is now $400. Where can you put that $100? You could put that $100 into an account, and then every single month, and then at the end of the year, now you got $1,200. Now you got, ready for Christmas, vacation, paying debts off, savings, investings, whatever you want to do. Now, what I tell people is, again, going back to what I just talked about, is reducing what that's going to end up being later down the line. So you can still apply, you can still pay $500. And then even though the bank is only asking for $400, and that's going to, again, go towards that principal, which is going to lower your overall principal. That's going to lower your overall balance that you end up paying over the life of the loan. So keep that in mind. Then last but not least is going to be flexible terms. Refinancing may offer extended repayment terms and other benefits suited to your financial needs. So keep that in mind as well. Now, things you need to think about before you do auto loan transfer. OK, so number one is the loan cost. Factor in potential fees. Just because you can do this does not mean that there's not an application fee, a refinance fee, something like that. Most places won't hit you over the head. Nothing crazy. A lot of places don't charge you anything either. But keep that in mind that you're looking at this, because sometimes you may get something in the mail, or you may see something and it's about transferring your car or doing an auto loan refinance. And then you're not sure about what the cost is going to be. It may not be something out of your pocket, but they may add it to the overall cost of the loan. But factor in potential fees such as loan origination fees or early repayment penalties from the original loan. What's an early repayment penalty? Exactly what it sounds like. If you pay this bad boy off early, then not only would it drop your score, that's a sidebar. Anything that ends in the word loan, auto loan, student loan, personal loan, mortgage loan, anytime you pay off something that's a loan early before it's supposed to be like the original term, then that's going to drop your score for a little bit. Well, Calvin, technically, isn't that what I'm doing now? Because if I'm going from bank 1 to bank 2 and bank 2 is paying off bank 1, doesn't that close it out? Yeah, but don't worry, because now you have the new account, which is then going to have those on-time payments, and you'll see the difference from what your score may have dropped 1 to 2 to 3 months later. OK, but overall, you want to make sure that you also know that if you do find something, or essentially if you're just asking them, hey, listen, about the early repayment penalties, this is if you pay off your loan too soon, then they can actually fine you for that. But most places won't do this because now the word has gotten around. OK, next is going to be credit impact. A hard inquiry during the loan application process may temporarily affect your credit score. Again, like any other hard inquiry would. This is why I tell people there's a lot of soft inquiry options that are out here. OK, we're going to post it in this video as well, too. But either way, start with that first. That way you see the numbers before you make a commitment. And of course, letting them run your credit. And then last but not least is going to be the loan duration. OK, now, remember the example. You started off with a 6-year auto loan. Now you've paid it for 2 years. Now that's 4 years left. You can also go with a shorter term. You don't have to stay at 4 years. You can go down to 3 years or 2 years if you want to. OK, but extending the loan can reduce monthly payments, but it may increase the overall interest paid over time, which of course is going to increase the overall cost of the loan. So make sure you look at the numbers and make sure it makes sense to you. Now, let me know your thoughts about this as well. If you have refinanced the auto loan before, if you're thinking about refinancing, if you want a company recommendation, we just put one inside this video as well, too. So keep that in mind as well, too. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next video.